Hello, everyone, and welcome to PWME News. That's ProWrestling.me News. Make sure you go over there and sign up right now for the 3rd of May 2016, first edition of PWME News for the month of May and for the year of 2016. Today's topic is going to talk about the WWE Network moving price, Ryback potentially leaving the company due to contractual obligations and being a dick. Also, we're going to talk about a PWG upcoming pay-per-view event. Well, it's not a pay-per-view event, an upcoming event. Also, Extreme Rules update. Going to talk a little bit about Payback. I'm halfway through Raw right now. I'm up to the Emma versus Becky Lynch match. That's the match I'm currently up to for Monday Night Raw. I'll probably give some Raw analysis tomorrow on the program. Back and ready to rock and roll. I apologize for the lack of content. I did start to gain my stride again. I talked a lot about momentum last week. I did start to regain my stride. But what happened is work's been a whole kerfuffle. I've basically had it in my notice. I've got a new job, which pays me more money and actually has better hours. There's not a possibility of me getting an overnight. And basically, I worked my ass off to be able to now get this job. It's kind of like a restaurant gimmick, but it's a really nice restaurant. And there's a bar. And I'm looking forward to my new job. In a good mood. Enjoyed Payback 2016. I'll talk about Payback, what I have now. I'm 50 minutes away from when I'm actually starting work, but because I've handed in my notice, I really couldn't give a flying fuck about if I'm late or not. And I'm going to be honest with you, if I'm late to the show, I don't mind. Yep, the audio is working. That's what double check. And if you ever do hear that, it's me checking the audio because I'm not in PWME UK headquarters, not using the usual mic. But I'm going to talk about Payback. Payback was the very first event that I watched it up in my room. I was just, I just knew I wasn't going to review it because remember, guys, it's okay for you guys, in America, it's 8 to 11, when you're in Japan, like even Coco, it's what, 10 to 1 p.m. For me, it's 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. So 4 a.m. is when the show finishes. By the time if I stayed up for the review, it would have been about 6, 7 a.m. So that would have been rocking on 24 hours with no sleep. So what I did, I had my girlfriend around and she said, I've never watched wrestling before. So because she just doesn't interested. She fucking loved it. She absolutely loved it. So that is proof that professional wrestling, like Sundays, which was aimed and very well delivered for the internet wrestling community, it does work with the casuals. That was my girlfriend's very first wrestling event. I said, out of 10, what would you give that? She said like a 9. I really enjoyed it. I quote, Roman Reigns is a sack of shit and AJ is cute. That was the exact quote. So that way that Roman Reigns is being portrayed to women at the age of 18 and 19 is not actually very good. So if the way they're doing Roman Reigns is arse backwards. He's now become a tweener to try and get some of the males behind him, but the males aren't behind him because obviously they're going to vote for AJ Styles when it pertains to him winning the match. But at the same time, now the women look at him, they don't think, oh, what a great guy, what a great, loving, caring guy. If that's just the first time you see him, you actually think he's a sack of shit. That was my girlfriend's first time ever seeing the man, because believe it or not, guys, I hate to say this, wrestling isn't on a big scale anymore. The only people that she knew were if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, Randy Orton, John Cena, Batista, Undertaker, people like that, and they're injured or fucking near enough coffin dodgers at this time, all due respect, of course. So at the end of the day, this new era, by the way, it's not a new era just because they say it's a new era. It's a new era when it becomes a new era, even though I do like the direction they're heading, aiming more on the actual in-ring than the bullshit and shenanigans that normally is. But there is no mega stars. She did not know a single person on that card, not one. That's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. It means we're hitting the reset button. We're doing this properly. Now let's build some stars. Let's build them. But the way they've built Reigns, he's actually, to a casual person, just say you went to your next door neighbor and they've never seen Roman Reigns in their life, and you show him that match, Roman Reigns is a sack of shit. You then go next door to your 10-year-old brother, say, hey, look, what do you think of it? Well, obviously it's not your brother, he's next door in case there's something fishy going on there. And you can say, hey, what's going on here? Do you like this guy? They're going to say no. He came across as a fucking arrogant arsehole. That's not because I don't like him. That's not because I think he's a waste of space human being. That is words that didn't come out of my mouth. But as a whole, I thought Payback was a win. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Apologies, I didn't make the post show, but everything's all sorted now with my work, so I'm looking forward to getting back into the routine of things. So let's go on to the news. I've been waffling and lollygagging around now for long enough. TNA Wrestling was some good news for once. They announced some more re-signings. They've re-signed 2 individuals. One of the name of Crazy Steve of the Decade, which I'm a huge fan of, and Bram. He's obviously, I can't say that because that's a spoiler, but you guys know he's a certain champion He won it last week. I apologize. Impact's that irrelevant. I've forgotten. I have done an Impact Wrestling review for last week, so please go everywhere and watch it if you haven't. So Bram has announced he has re-signed with TNA Wrestling. Well, it was announced from Brian Alvarez and the Wrestling Observer Live yesterday. But again, I didn't touch on it because I didn't do a show yesterday. So Bram re-signing, the King of the Mountain champion re-signing. But remember, Eli Drake, my boy. And by the way, I absolutely adored the Fact of Life show. If you haven't watched the Impact review, summarize it. I absolutely fucking adored Eli Drake's Fact of Life promo. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was out of this world. If you haven't watched Impact, please watch one thing for me. Watch the Fact of Life segment with Eli Drake. Okay, you're gonna think you might not know who Eli Drake is, and I don't particularly blame you. But B, you think, what the fuck is Fact of Life? Basically, he has like a game show. It's like a button. He brought out Jesse Goddard and Robbie E. And it's funny how out of everything from Impact, this is what I'm talking about. And he had a sound bar. Every time I hit it, it went, dummy, yeah, literally like that. And I was cracking up. I was in hysterics. It was probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen in the history of my life. I was cracking up. It was so stupid. It was so funny. But damn right, I was entertained. I was sports entertained. And it was fucking amazing. So yeah, Bram and Crazy Steve of the decade. Good job re-signing Crazy Steve, by the way. I'm a huge mark for the decade. That's probably one of the best things going right now in TNA or Impact Wrestling, whatever the fuck the company's name is. I do not know. And quite frankly, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't particularly care what the name of the company is because I'm hoping it gets bought and I'm hoping someone changes the damn name. But just change it to Impact Pro Wrestling. Like, why IPW is used, but it's used in the UK. Obviously, IPW UK, but that's International Pro Wrestling, based up in England. That's a good little promotion they got there. Will Ospreay, Mike Skull wrestles there. Mark Andrews wrestles there. Lots of people wrestle there. Matt Sydal goes there regularly. Chris Masters lives in the UK, for fuck's sake, he's there so much. But in the end of the day, I'm very, very happy with the re-signings here. They could have re-signed some jobber. They could have re-signed Matt Hardy, Fat Hardy, or Jeff the Spliff Hardy. They could have re-signed them, but they didn't. They re-signed some young guys. And that's what I like to see TNA heading in the direction that WCW was with the later part of their tenure in the professional wrestling world anyway. But in the end of the day, I hope TNA doesn't die, but I think the name TNA is not marketable enough. You can't really... So how would you say this to your friends? Do you want to stay around mine tonight and watch a TNA pay-per-view? Even worse, how would you say to your girlfriend, do you want to stay around and watch your TNA pay-per-view? How about this? Would you say to your family, oh, should we gather around tonight and come around mine and watch the TNA pay-per-view? They're going to either slap you, punch you, or punish you in some way, shape, or form, or laugh at you in some ridicule fashion. It's not a marketable name. Impact Professional Wrestling sounds pretty damn cool. IPW, Impact Pro Wrestling. Let's change it to that. Please, someone buy this damn thing and put it out of its misery. Dick, if you have 51% control of the company, you're a fucking idiotic moron. I hope those Nazis don't the Harris brothers buy it because, quite frankly, then nothing will change. I'm not bashing TNA as such. I like the direction they're heading in with focusing a lot more on new stars like Mike Bennett, EC3. But in the end of the day, it's WWE Light. If you notice, every single one of their main event stars has come from WWE in some way, shape, or form. EC3, WWE. Tyrus, WWE. Spliff Hardy, WWE. Fat Hardy, WWE. Fucking Lashley, WWE. Mr. Ken Anderson, WWE. You know, he's now gone. Thank God. Bless him. I'm happy he's out of there. Who else you got? You know, Mike Bennett, Ring of Honor, part of television. They need to sign people like Mark Andrews, who hasn't been on television. Will Ospreay, even though he signed with New Japan, they should have signed him while they had the opportunity. Jimmy Havoc should have signed him while they had the opportunity. Big Damo signed him while they have the opportunity because they haven't been on international or national television. Let's sign these guys who aren't on television. Trevor Lee was a great pickup. Crazy Steve is a great pickup because they have not been on television. You can then establish them as a name value, and they will be yours. That's why AJ Styles, he's associated to TNA because they built him from the ground up. He was on WCW for like a week or two, but then that obviously went down. People like Samoa Joe wasn't on international or national television. Guys like fucking Christopher Daniels, who now he left, and Chris Sabin, you know, all these guys they've built. And in the end of the day, they need to do that again. They need to go to the indies. There is so much damn talent out there. How you can only pick people from WWE because they think they're going to pop a rating. Newsflash and fact of you. Dummy, yeah. Sorry. I need to get, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have the soundboard of death. Okay, I would have a soundboard that if I clicked it, came up with if you build a sports entertainer from the ground up, you'd get Randy Orton from JBL, I'd get Big Match John, I'd get Roman Reigns' hair commercial going. I just wish we had a soundboard. I wish we went on YouTube. I digress. That's not for me to talk about. But yeah, how I just went on a 6-minute debate on the name and the talent that TNA has is beyond me. This is a news channel. But anyway, on to some actual news. So WWE might be changing up the network pricing in the near future. And a recent survey sent out by the Scummy company, fans were asked if they would be interested in paying a premium price of $14.99 for the streaming service. With the premium service, fans will be able to watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown replays the following day. Right now, WWE has replays of Raw and SmackDown a whole month after the show, after it airs on either the USA Network or Sky Sports over in the UK. If WWE was to offer this service, they would have to redo their deal with the USA Network and Hulu. So I'm not expecting this deal to be happening anytime soon. But I have a friend who was actually really excited. He watches Monday Night Raw via, it's a Pirate's Life for You, and he already has the network. I said this to him. I asked him about this because I wanted to know what an actual real person thought. And he said he would be willing to pay the extra $5 because you're going to get it in HD and you're going to get it in better quality. Especially if you live in England, the next day is perfect because Monday Night Raw actually happens on a Tuesday. So we basically get it like a few hours after it airs. So it actually makes sense for everyone in England to get that. I personally wouldn't because obviously I have a choice. In theory, I technically should watch it live because of the commitments to ProWrestling.me. But most of the time I don't because it's just so damn late. Just imagine you guys spending your whole life staying up till 4 a.m. and then doing the podcast. You're up to like 6, 7 a.m. It takes a toll on you, and it damn sure takes a toll on your body and body clock indeed. Right, we'll see if we've got any live comments. I can see we've got a plethora of people right now. I want to thank Mr. David Coase for retweeting and liking us on the Twitter machine. You can follow me on Twitter at LK Wrestling. I'll follow you back as long as you're not an impersic sack of shit. That's pretty fair. That is pretty fair. We got 2 likes, 1 dislike. That's obviously from TNA fans. Is AJ a heel? I haven't finished watching Monday Night Raw, bro. That's from the King of Porn style, Rey Mysterio. That's your new name, by the way. The King of Porn style. I like that. Did TNA die? Oh, I wish. No, I don't wish, because now I'm going to get disliked central. I'm going to be honest. My opinion, when I watch Impact, my level of passion is null and void. Like, if I watch Impact, I struggle, and I find it really difficult to be emotionally attached to it because I just don't care, and it feels so dated. It's like watching Ring of Honor. I love Ring of Honor more than a straight man should, but it feels so damn dated. If this is a new era, then my porn is the new era. There he is, the King of Porn style, back in his business. When will TNA go out of business? I don't know. Honestly, I give it 2 more years. While it's on pop, they're still making money. In the international deals, they're still making money in the end of the day. So they're not going to go straight out of business. But in the end of the day, I don't know how I'd feel about it. I'd be upset because of the memories, and obviously it's a place for people to work and make money. Obviously, you've got the staff there. You've got, the business managers involved. You've got the wrestlers, the talent, more importantly. And it's on international television. So, Jesus, H. Christ on a popsicle stick. Monster Energy Ultra Red, ladies and gentlemen, is out of this freaking world. England, in the south of England anyway, we finally launched a new Monster Energy promotion. It's Ultra Red, it's 0 calories, 0 sugar, so I can still look after this beautiful English body. And it's not gonna give me the same kick. Oh, that's good. Will AJ turn heel or stay face to put over John Cena? Everyone turns heel to put over John Cena. That's just a fact of life. Victor Varela, TNA will probably remain until Dixie gets tired of it. Yeah, she might get bored, but I don't know. I think she's too morally proud and she's too dignified to have it die. What should TNA change their name to? Impact Pro Wrestling. My old girlfriend dumped me for watching the shit called WWE. Dude, that's what I was so... When she said, my girlfriend's like, can I see what you watch? Like, the pay-per-view wise, because obviously she's never watched pro wrestling. She doesn't know what it's all about. Like, why do you watch it? Like, she asked that question. I said, why don't you just watch it one day? And I showed her the card. She knew 0 of the names. And she was hooked. She said, when's the next one? And the Extreme Rules popped up May the 22nd. And she said she's going to come around for that one as well. So, Rey Mysterio should have took a different approach. You are the king of porn style. When it comes to porn star, when it comes to women, I'm expecting higher standards from you, my friend. Will Baylor still, I'm guessing, be involved with AJ and the Bullet Club? Oh, that's such a tough one right now. Obviously, it's still open in the air because obviously Extreme Rules coming up. Anything could happen. It is potential, but I'm not 100% convinced he will be involved. But he will be sometime down the line, I'm sure. They need some Japanese and Mexican stars. I don't know why it's so difficult for them to understand that. Yeah, they're just so... I don't know. They think, oh, he came from WWE. He was shit. We'll make him a star. That's not how it should work. Either A, they were stars in WWE, and then come to TNA, they can make us new stars. What they should do... If I'm a company owner right now, and I just say IPW, Impact pro wrestling. I bought TNA as I sold KocoSports from under Dave Coco's nose. Say that happened. Because, let's be honest, TNA isn't going to be that much. So I buy TNA. I'm going to bring in Jeff Hardy. He is going to put over every single one. Trevor Lee is going to go on a winning streak, defeating Spiff Hardy, defeating Matt Hardy, and then he can say he's the king of North Kakalaki, as JBL says. You know, you could do that. You know, Shane Helms, what's he doing there? Eddie Edwards, beat him. Eddie Edwards needs to beat him. When Davey Richards come back, I'd have the Wolves defeat the Hardys. Clean, in the middle of the ring, no shenanigans. Do a 2 out of 3 falls, beat him 2 falls to nothing. But because Spliff and Fat Hardy have that name value, they're still going to be stars. Lashley should put over Mike Bennett. Okay, period. Lashley should be face. Put over Mike Bennett as this awesome heel. That's how it should do. Okay, then Bennett's going to be a star. Not the bullshit that they give us. Good grief. So back to Ryback, original point of view. We'll get back to live comments. Make sure you keep them coming. We have Ryback. He obviously, we know he was unhappy about the company as an interview he had about being very dissatisfied about being in the pre-show for the United States Championship at WrestleMania 32. Basically, at the moment, he was off TV indefinitely after being asked to be removed. This is apparently due to a contract dispute between Ryback and the WWE that hasn't been very pleasant. Ringside DailyDDT.com reports this is quite the interesting development. Ryback isn't happy with his role and his contract, so this has gotten ugly pretty quickly. Him being taken off TV indefinitely may mean we're not going to see the former guy, Tough Enough and Big Guy star for a while. This may even be the end of Ryback's time in WWE if they can't agree a new contract. You know, obviously, you know, in the end of the day, you know, Ryback, he's going to get he's big. He's going to get a TNA. He's a WWE guy who failed. We didn't fail. We made money. Probably made good money. But he's not a main event star. He's not a big draw. He failed. He's TNA bound. Like, if you look at them, when you judge WWE talent, okay, will Dean Ambrose get a TNA? No, because he's actually, you know, a star. Roman Reigns, no, he's a star. He won't get a TNA. What about Eric Rowan? He's done nothing. He could get a TNA. Like, that's how you judge if they're going to get a TNA or not. And that's a damn shame. That's the way his life works. PWG, that's Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, have announced that they have a new card. It's going to be called Prince, and we have an absolute phenomenal lineup. We have Marty Scurll versus Mark Andrews, Chris Hero versus debuting Jeff Cobb. That's obviously the guy who portrays Matanza from Lucha Underground. I hope that wasn't a spoiler. Trevor Lee versus Andrew Everett. That sounds fucking awesome. Adam Cole versus Dalton Castle. That's going to be phenomenal. Former PWG Worldwide Champion Roddy Strong versus Sami Callihan. That sounds beautiful. TNA World Champion Drew Galloway versus the fucking machine Brian Cage. And then Zack Sabre Jr. for the PWG Championship on the line. Faith defending against Big Mike, Michael Elgin. That sounds like an absolute fucking phenomenal card, as usual, for PWG. So that wraps it up for the news. Not a lot happening. Obviously, the Ryback situation is pretty damn interesting. We're going to talk about... back to live comments, actually. We'll go back to Rusev wins US title, and then big match John will bury him again. Oh, dude, this is how it's going to work. Okay, this is how it's going to work. Gather around, put your fucking storytelling cap on. Rusev's going to win the US Championship, Dream Rules. 8 nights later, Rusev's going to do some stupid open challenge. John Cena's going to accept it. He's going to win the US Championship, and then boom, we're going to go back to the John Cena US Open Challenge. That's not a bad thing. As DDP would say, it's a good thing. I'm actually looking forward. I was a big fan of Big Match John's US Open Challenge. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to call a spade right now. I absolutely used to love that. It's a great way to debut people. It's a great way to start storylines. It's a great way to get people over. Like, half those guys, just by being in the ring with Big Match John, actually got more over with the fans anyway. So I think it's a great way to get people over, and I think they should use it to their full extent. Plus, it gets the championship over, because at the end of the day, that championship, when Big Match John had it, meant something. Now it's on the pre-show, where guys who are in that championship match are actually threatening to quit the WWE. Is that bad? That's nothing against Kalisto. I thought the Kalisto versus Ryback match was pretty good. It wasn't nothing special. I was a big fan of the springboard triangle DDT on the apron. That looked nasty. But at the end of the day, that championship was cussed. You either have Big Match John have it, he gets injured. Kalisto has it. Fucking his opponents quit the damn company. It's a damn shame. That's just the way things work sometimes when it comes to championship belts. Who will win the IC title? I think they're going to keep it on the Miz. I think Owens and Zayn are going to continue their feud. I think Cesaro and Miz are going to have a very long program heading into the summer. And then I think we're going to have someone else go for the Intercontinental Championship after that. 3 likes, 1 dislike. Thank you for all the likes, guys. Have we got anything else? Is TNA in 2016 better than TNA in 2014? That's tough, but probably yeah. Did you get laid? The King of Porn star Ray Mustani? Yes. That's kind of strange saying that aloud, but it's not your business. What's next for EC3? TNA World title, hopefully. Did Ryback get fired? No, he didn't get fired. He's angry with the company because he thinks he could be better. Ryback will be called Goldberg Jr. and TNA. Oh, dude, that's no. He'll be called. Someone put on Twitter his name will be K-Bar. K-Bar. He'll get his name spelled backwards like Grado. Would you rather have good stories or good wrestling? I would like great wrestling that tells great stories. How about that? That's too much to ask. Ricky Grajewski, LK, you suck so much dick. Yeah, that's why I'm. Yeah, makes sense. At least I get my dick sucked, unlike you, Ricky Grajewski. You spend your time fucking haunting me. This man haunts me. Even when I'm not on the show, he says, "Okay, sucks." Like, dude, you must have made it in life if you have haters. If you have no haters on your podcast, you haven't made it. So Ricky Grajewski, it signifies that I've made it. I have a hater, and he goes around on every single video that uploaded on this channel and bashes the fuck out of me. But, you're still watching. You're still, giving me views, so I don't care. Should WWE get rid of SmackDown and keep Raw and NXT? No, I don't. The G-Rock Freak responds to this by saying, I don't think WWE should get rid of SmackDown because there are some like me who don't watch NXT. Yeah, not everyone watches NXT. It's a very niche audience. Only the hardcore pro wrestling fans can be watching that. I do think they should keep SmackDown. I particularly tend to enjoy SmackDown a lot more than Raw because you get your Raw intake with the Raw rebounds. So you don't actually have to watch Raw. And SmackDown usually has great wrestling on it. It usually has better wrestling on it, and they tell a story. There's a thread all the way through the night from the opening segment to the main event that I tend to enjoy a lot more than Monday Night Raw. And it's shorter; it's an hour short. So no, if anything, get rid of Monday Night Raw. That's what I would do. But obviously, they're not going to. I wouldn't actually get rid of Monday Night Raw because they make so much money from it. That was just a figure of speech. I would never get rid of Monday Night Raw. That's really idiotic. But again, put in the comments below. Do you think it's smart to get rid of SmackDown? I don't think they will. Last but not least, the King of Porn Style asks, "What's your favorite category?" Dude. You've asked this many times before, and I actually don't know. Right off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't like hardcore shit. Like, I'm not into the hardcore stuff. That's a bit cringy for me. I don't know. That's a great question. I'm going to leave that into inventory. What is your favorite category? That's from the King of Porn Style, Ray Mercedes. Thank you very much for watching the show. Head over to ProWrestling.me, head over to KocoSports.net, KocoSports.net, where goes to guys, KocoSports above all. It's okay to be a passionate fan. Like, comment, subscribe. This has been your daily news segment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the 4th of May edition of PWME News. Thanks for watching.